Have you ever been told to think before you speak? Well, let's go think about that. God has given us this amazing and wonderful ability to think. God has given us this ability to calculate, to create, and to contemplate. This is one of the major ways that people are different than animals. Animals act out of impulse and instinct. God has given animals amazing instincts and abilities. God gives animals certain wisdom. For example, a bird's instinct is to build a nest for its home. But the bird, it doesn't sit there for weeks and think about all the different ways it could build its nest. It just begins to build that nest. Well, God has given birds the wisdom to build a nest. They don't have to think about it. God gives little squirrels and chipmunks the wisdom to gather food for the winter. He gives spiders wisdom to build a web. Zebras and deers have the wisdom to run away from danger. This kind of wisdom that God gives animals is called instinct. It gives them the ability to do things without having to be taught or without having to think about it. God has given people a different kind of wisdom. He has given us the kind of wisdom that is thinking, and He wants us to use that ability for His honor. Psalm 19:14 says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation or thoughts of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer." Thinking before we act and thinking before we speak is one of the most important ways that we can show self-control. But what does that really mean? Why should we think before we speak? And what should we think before we speak? I have an easy way for you to remember that, okay? We're gonna use the word think to help us to remember what to think about. So how do you spell the word think? T-H-I-N-K. All right, great. Now each letter is gonna help us remember something important about our words. What we say has the ability to help or hurt, to do good or evil, to show self-control or be out of control. The first letter of think is T. A good question to ask yourself before you speak is this: is it true? So some people, when they make a promise or oath, they'll put their hand up there and promise to tell the truth. So when you have something that you want to say, think, is it true? Am I sharing the right facts and knowledge? Or am I gossiping or just making guesses? Are my words accurate? What is the first question we should ask ourselves when we think before we speak? Is it true? The next letter is H, and this will help us remember to ask, is it helpful? Say it with me. Is it helpful? Is what I'm about to say adding value to others? Will it help someone or will it hurt them instead? So let's review these questions. Is it true and is it helpful? The next letter is a letter I. We can ask ourselves the question, is it inspiring? So, can you say it with me? Is it inspiring? Are my words said in a way that builds other people up? Can these words bring me and others closer to God? So, we have 3 questions. What are they? Is it true? Is it helpful? And is it inspiring? Now the next letter is the letter N. And the question that goes with that is it necessary? Can you do it with me? Is it necessary? Is there a good reason I need to say this? Some things may be true, but they don't even need to be said. Well, we only have 1 letter left. So we have, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? And is it necessary? The last one is the letter K. And that one goes, is it kind? Say it with me. Is it kind? Am I speaking out of a heart of goodwill? Sometimes it may be necessary to say something hard to someone else, but make sure that you have the right attitude about it before you speak to them. Let's review all of our questions together. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? Now you know how to think before you speak. Sometime this week, I want you to write Psalm 19:14 on a piece of paper. Then put that piece of paper somewhere where you see it often to be a reminder to you to show self-control with your words. Bye, kids!